Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining or just coming on my podcast whenever it works for you. What a cool thing. Love these podcasts. They're just incredible and just amazing that we can put our voice out there and let others who may be looking for that voice or that knowledge, what comes from it, just putting it out there into the universe, out into the world. So awesome. Today I wanted to talk about my actual technique that I do, quantum healing hypnosis technique. It's a form of therapy, self-healing technique. And I chose open to the universe because you really do open yourself to the universe, and it's a trusting part of yourself that you have to trust. So I came up with that in the morning. I think it was about 4 or 5 in the morning. I woke up and just asked my higher self, the all-knowing, because that's our deepest time of connection to the higher self, because we've slept off our normal day. We've slept that off, so we unwound our energy so that way we could actually relax and actually tap into ourselves, the all-knowing part, because you can as well just do that once you focus on it a little bit more and practice it, and just ask yourself things that really you're searching for. You're searching for these things, and it could be as simple as connecting me to connect you to other like-minded people you connect with, you have similarities to. And, it happens. We get connected to ones that maybe brings us the doubts, the fears, all the others. And maybe that's something that you could be working on right now. So that's why I love this technique. It really does help you and opens you to the universe. And it's your own self helping you. So I am only the practitioner. I don't heal you. It's not me. I just have the tools that help guide you to the all-knowing part of yourself. It's so simple, so easy. And at the same time, the ego can really get in the way, and it can be maybe a challenge if we've experienced that at the beginning of something like this, and even some of us even just think, oh, what is that? What are you trying to tap into? Do you want to take my information? It's not that kind of technique. It's not that kind of hypnosis. It strictly goes to the right side of your brain, which holds all of the images and symbols that we use in our dreams. So really, it's only going with that and pictures, and the practitioner never should be asking numbers or places, because that then goes to the left brain, the analytical side of your brain, which tries to figure out why you want that side of the brain, because that side isn't the side this technique uses. So that's why I think it's such a beautiful one, because it uses the part of your brain that holds this existing all-knowing part of you. And I think that's so beautiful. I think that's so incredible. That's what makes us so magnificent, really. When you really think about the beauty of what we can tap into, what comes out of us. When we come here, we're a multidimensional being. So there's this part of us that has to come here into the body to experience this environment and enlighten people. And I've realized as I do this, and here it is 3 years later for me, I'm super brand new. I always knew there was something out there that was neat, that was more than just a religion or someone's belief. I always knew that, but I didn't know what. until I literally had Dolores Cannon, who had performed and basically developed this technique and made it what it is. Without Dolores Cannon, I don't know. I'm sure it would have been someone else, because it's really truly the other side helping us. So they can't come down and they can't say, hey, here, let me help you. What they can do is go through the back door, and that's by sending people and beings like Dolores Cannon, who said, okay, well, learn this technique. You learn it as a practitioner. Not everyone, I don't feel, can be a practitioner until you get yourself enlightened. I realized even that for me is like, I still have a journey of enlightening myself. But it's just like a gift that you can do. I don't know, that you have. Some of us don't have the light worker gift, and that's what it is. Some of us are meant to be doctors, meant to be nurses, meant to be that other profession that you're just so gracefully good at. That's what you're meant to be doing. I mean, that's what your gift is. And if it doesn't feel good, then it's okay to change. That's another thing too, is that what if after all of that you say, hey, I want to do light worker. I'm a light worker, and you realize you've just been holding back that light worker ability in you. And that could be anything: acupuncture, any kind of self-healing technique, Reiki, quantum healing, hypnosis technique. So there's quite a few out there that we can use that is self-healing, because we're a multi-dimensional being. We're magnificent. God made us so perfect. The source. If you don't want to use God, if you hold God as this other kind of in a box, then don't use that word. Use the source, because that will help you get out of that box. Because God's not in a box. He is this whole. He is everything. He is the universe. It's amazing. He's God. That's why we're alive. We have the source in us. We breathe. That's the other thing. It's like we are godly. We have to hold ourselves as we're mighty beings. Look what we have to overcome. We lose people and we get the illusion that they're gone. We've lost them dramatically. I've seen some posts where it was devastating, dramatic changes in our lives. So we really, before we come into these bodies, we really go, okay, well, all right, I'm only going to put a couple marbles in that bowl, because those marbles represent obstacles and heartaches and challenges. And I can only bear a couple things. But guess what we do? We don't realize the emotions that come with it, because the other side, you don't feel those emotions. But this side, in the physical body, boy, don't we feel those emotions, don't we? Whew, we feel those emotions. And they're heavy. And they weigh us down. As we grow, we can't enlighten ourselves, because we're holding the past is just weighing us. It's just smoldering us. And how can we even breathe, which brings us life and joy and happiness? The breath, the deep breathing. How can we breathe with all that baggage? But then how can you say get rid of it? That may be a family member, that may have been a significant other, anyone who's dearly close to you that you may have lost. That's heavy. And that's, again, why I love quantum healing hypnosis technique, because what it does is it shifts you. It doesn't make you change like, oh, I'm going to be this whole other person. No, it shifts this part of you that needed that love to fill that heartache that is like your heart is half, and it fills it right up back to whole, and you feel everyone you've ever thought was gone, they're right there, and then you will see them again one day. And they are full in your heart with their love. They love you. They know they're not there in the physical, but guess what? They're rooting for you. They're saying, okay, it's hard. We're going to get through. You're going to get through this. You're going to enlighten. You'll be enlightened. Listen to this person. Practice these habits. We are creatures of habits. And look at your life. You could have created anything you want. And they say it all the time. They say, oh, you can create this, oh, you can create that. But what happens is we don't understand that's also your belief system. Which is so strong because that is essentially in your heart. You believe certain things because you were raised by certain people. Hey, you were raised by a mom and dad, or they believe this, or aunts and uncles, or a significant other, or who knows, all sorts of things. We all have different stories. No one's story is the same. Maybe similar, but it's not the same. You have different people, different emotions. So essentially, we're all living this different life, somewhat forced to live the same. There's places I see that are like, oh, you gotta be this way, exactly, even though you can't be, because you are you, and no one can be you. And that's what we have to realize, how special each and every one of us we are for that reason, that we're so unique. We're like this little puzzle piece to the universe. We fit perfectly the way we are. So any way you are is the way you are, and that's okay. You don't have to use excuses as, I'm this age, so I can't have this. I'm this culture, so I can't have this. Those are excuses. You are a mighty being. You are amazing. You are amazing. And I'm just putting it out there as, you deserve to even hear that. You deserve happiness. And what I've ever learned is, how do you feel in this moment? How do you feel now? It's all that matters. You have to somewhat weave through life and say, I don't deserve that. I mean, non-deserving is like when we live in heartache and baggage and people doubting us. We don't need to live around that. We don't need to take that in all the time. It's very wearing. It's very overwhelming. Any of us, I know all of us, no one likes it. I know we wake up thinking, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want it to all go away, and I just want to feel better, and I want to feel good, and I want to, and so when you do that, there's this part of you that does want to be happy. It just shows you that you have this amazing heart in you that is not numb. That's what gets me. I know I've met lots of people who say, how do I navigate through life following my heart? It's numb. And that's what made me sad, because it's like, I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to be like, find something that is self-healing. So find Reiki, find quantum healing hypnosis technique by Dolores Cannon. It's like, if you try a few of these little things and see the shift in your life, and then you create new habits. So that's simple as having a yummy smoothie, or, I really saw that they were like pushing the health things. And those are things that are bettering our body. Our body is our vehicle, our soul's vehicle. And how will we ever get through life if we don't take care of our body, our soul? That's why they say that. It's like, you got to take care of the whole thing of you, your being inside, your being outside. And it does start with loving yourself and saying, you know what? I do want to, hey, maybe I have to wake up a little earlier because I deserve it. Not that you need to do it all the time and you need to, go crazy with it. And it's really a nice balance for you. What works for you? Because we all have different schedules. We all are on a different path. But you have to take that little step and say, okay, what works for me? Do I work at nights? Okay, that's fine. I can work at nights. But these are the things I want to implement in my life that I can see little things of being better. Maybe a little exercise that made you feel a little bit better and know you can get around a little bit better. Do little things. Smoothies, like I said, look for good supplements, things that would um, naturally, good things. Eat fresh and raw fruit and vegetables and, that whole thing. So it's really what you take in. It's really the whole balance too, because sure, we might have to eat other things for convenience, but we definitely can, step it up for our own self, step it up for our own enlightenment, because it comes down to that. Do you want to be enlightened? Do you want to progress? I mean, mostly everyone I know wants to progress, wants to do better. I don't hardly know very many people who want to stay the same. No, most of them are trying to get out of that and not be involved with that stuck old energy. Because as we enlighten, that's the new earth. Dolores, you've probably heard it and seen it on Dolores' page, um, and that's mostly just you enlightening yourself, you loving yourself, you putting yourself first because you deserve it. And then when you're creating these habits, you have to keep doing them. We're all about repetition and over and over and over. And see, we do things over and over without realizing it. We argue with our spouse, argue with our family, and we do good things. So it's and then not to put out the negative as we argue with our family. What happens is we get sucked into that. It's this vicious cycle vortex, and it's law of attraction, law of cause and effect. It gets us sucked in. And the only way to calm any of it down is to sleep. That's why the next day, sometimes we'll then have remorse and say, oh, why did we do that? Dang it, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't say that. I wish I didn't do that. We do that a lot. And that's really just because that's law of attraction, law of vibration, law of cause and effect. Especially cause and effect. It's like, we don't know why we do the things we do, but sometimes we do them. And those are just coming out of us as this. When it's the law, it can't be any other way. And that's what I mean. You're in this vortex. You get sucked right in, and there you are. And it's make or break. And sometimes we break. And but you know what? That's okay. That's the other thing I was gonna say is like, yes, look at us. We've done it. There's so many, you can use a lot of people as an example of this because a lot of people have done it. A lot of famous people, a lot of regular people. And it's knowing inside that it's going to be okay and that tomorrow's a new day. And that's that, period. And we have to believe that. We do, because you're essential to this earth. We need each and every one of you guys. That's another one of my biggest, is like how important it is. How important each and one of us are here at this time. We all agreed on the other side to do this, to be here all at once. Yeah, we can say, oh, I don't know you, because in the physical, we don't know each other. But the other side, bonded for eternity. We are a part of each other. And we're okay with that. Surprisingly, we have no words like that on the other side. It's all here. It's all manifesting here. Yeah. And it's amazing because as we evolve, Gaia, the earth, Mother Nature, she evolves. And she's evolving. And she's changing. She's not going to stay the same. She's good at changing. She's been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years. So what it is we are here at this time, in this parallel life, It may have already happened. It may not have already happened. I feel like people get deja vu all the time and they're like, why? And when I would go in depth with it, it's already happened. So you've already lived it. That's another time of you living this. And that's in depth. I know. It's a lot. Don't take it in if you can't, love on it if you can. It's amazing. And I'm just waking up people to see if they are a light worker. Hey, you may not be a light worker right now, but maybe you are. And maybe you're looking for enlightenment. More and more things that just make you feel better, feel good, do better. Because when you feel good and you look good, you're doing great. That's exactly what you want. You want all of it. You want to look good. You want to feel good. And you want to love on yourself. Essentially, it's you who needs all that love. And you are able to give that to yourself. And if you feel that you can't, here is quantum healing hypnosis technique. How is your journey of life going? Is it, sad and hiccups and bumps and obstacles and all you want is this love and compassion that the veil just puts right in front of your face where you can't see it, but it's right there. It's like you can smell it but can't touch it. Opening yourself to the universe with this technique, knowing you hold it, knowing that you're powerful and that there are parts of you, the multidimensional being of you. We have the ego. That's our everyday life. That's what is in the belief system of, no, I must do it like this, this, and this. When you can step back and look at that and really in depth to see why it has to be that way and just pick it apart. Why does it have to be that way? Why does it have to be in that box? There you go. That's it. And it's your answer. It's not going to be mine. Because you deserve to have it presented so you can see why. Is it a valid, true belief system that you need to hold? You may not need to hold it any longer. But with this technique, you can release it. Although you have to be willing to, because this is a planet of free will, so it's all up to us individually to even want it, to pick our head up from the sandbox and say, oh, there is something else out there. Yeah. I do these podcasts so that every day that I am here on this planet, I'm evolving, I'm enlightening my own self by doing something I'm really passionate about. And that's standing on that soapbox and saying, hey, any of us can be a light worker. Any of us, we can do it. We are more than one thing. We are these amazing beings who only limit ourselves. I think when you do that and you shift and realize that you don't need all the other stuff in your life that maybe might not be fitting anymore, might feel uncomfortable to be around because that's not the energy you're holding anymore, because we're pure positive. We are pure energy already in us. We hold it in us. Our hearts. That's the main thing, is knowing that your heart is not just your beating heart. It's just this chakra energy. That's beautiful. That's majestic. That's magnificent. It just holds this preciousness to life, to everything. And we're here on this planet, and it feels so real. that you're really separated from everything, and you're really separated from the universe, and you're really separated from everything, the earth, the people, it does that to you, the illusion of earth being here in a body. But what you have to overcome, and what you could overcome, that could be so graceful for you, is knowing you're surrounded in love and light, and just all goodness, and thousands of angels, and the best guidance you ever could want. Yeah. You just have to do a little practice on your own self by telling yourself how great you are, and by fueling yourself with good stuff. What works for your body, and when you do that, then you could possibly, that's the other thing I say when you go to look for a practitioner in your area. Really try to connect to yourself a little bit. And that could be little things, like I said earlier, is like telling yourself good affirmations in the morning, or not necessarily in the morning, anytime that it works for you. Just all sorts of little things. Let's see, what else? Affirmations and meditations. And with meditations, I've done a lot of them with my eyes open, and I would be stretching, or I would be, because that's really, for me, it's peaceful. I'm stretching, I'm clearing my mind, it's mindfulness, just clearing my mind, knowing that I don't need to focus on anything else right now but the stretching and the breathing, because the breath is very important. We need to deep breathe. Every time we wake up, we need that fresh oxygen in our lungs, and we need to really breathe. I think we're so suppressing our breath that we're getting lost in in the illusion of life. Connect yourself to Mother Nature again. Go out there and go on the trails and enjoy life. Go for a hike, go for a bike ride, whatever you're good at, whatever you like to do. Even just walk. Just walk. And you know what? Connect to the birds, and to the trees, and to the sky, and to the earth. Feel the leaves, and I don't know. To me, that I almost get too, where I need to ground myself, to really ground myself around nature, because sometimes I exclude myself, as I'm always working on myself. We all should be working on ourselves. It's not like I'm already there and it works out perfect for me. No, I am not already there. I'm getting there. I have the potential to be the best I can be. But, I'm always working on myself, always bettering myself, really just trying to love everyone as who they are. You be who you need to be, because that's who you are. And that's the other thing. It's like, we don't need to be judging others. We need to be working on ourselves and seeing how we're reacting to things, and how we feel. And is this making us feel crazy? Is it making us too outrageous? I want happiness and joy. So it's always looking and being surrounded in that positive energy, positive frequency. And it's really awesome. And I love it. It truly is a gift to be doing this practice, and I love it. I love it so much, because all I want to do is see people get enlightened, see people evolve, Are you a light worker? It's trying to find the light workers out there, and maybe you are and you just don't know it just quite yet, or maybe you feel like you are, or um, that's my goal. I feel like is to find as many light workers as possible, and that's really just waking up people and encouraging encouraging them to have a session with quantum healing hypnosis technique, because essentially that'll help you determine what you need to be doing. It'll really guide you with your all-purpose self, like knowing what you need to be doing. I'm just thankful for that. I'm thankful for, I think it's really important to be thankful too, and I just want you all to know, just being thankful that you listen to my stuff, thankful that you yeah, I want to even hear it. So I really appreciate that. Um, I've been doing this now for 3 months, since November, December, January, and half of February, so 3.5 months. And it's amazing. It's amazing that I could even do it. I used to just tell myself I could never do it, and that no one would want to ever hear anything I would say or have to say. Especially me. I'm only 3 years in, super new. Most people that I know have been doing it for 20 plus years. And that's intimidating. And I can only hope, I have the potential to get better. But it's just intimidating because I respect those people, and I know I'm not that great yet, and that I'm getting there, and that I always can get to greatness by doing the best I can every single day. So with my habits, I'm very much of a morning person. So I love waking up in the morning and starting my day, and that's by having a smoothie. And I don't know, for me, I'm happy in the morning, so I'm grateful to be alive. I'm so thankful that I was able to open my eyes this morning and be alive. That's it. I'm just so thankful to be alive. And I think a lot of us don't hold that. We hold it as, why am I alive? And that's why I love this technique, because it really does open your eyes. Because some of us can't, like I said earlier, is like we hold this baggage and we can't open our eyes and we can't realize that we're these amazing beings, and that it's just so joyous to be alive. And maybe we might have to change our environment. That's the other thing I was going to say. Is like, sometimes if you're not happy where you are, take the initiative and say, you know what? I need a session, or I need to, most people love to have a session because then they can say, okay, do I need to move? Those are the kind of questions you could ask in the session. So that way it's the all-knowing part could actually see your whole life plan and say, oh, yes, you really need to move. That's what we've been trying to tell you. See, the angels come through your body and they tell you things, they show you messages. Things happen to where it triggers you to move, those kind of things. And you might have to do that, or you might have to just move a little bit, and that's down the street in a different subdivision or a whole different state. What works for you, what would be fitting for you. That's why it's amazing if you can have a session, because it really helps. It guides you without any more hiccups. Yeah. So you just, it really, for some of us, we just kind of need this little step up. And somewhat the universe knew that would happen. And they go through Dolores Cannon, this beautiful person who's just so sweet. She's the sweetest person ever. And she, and she develops this technique, this method. It's literally, truly a gift. And I just am so amazed every time I hear it, every time I really take it in, you really understand life. Is like, whoa. So, I don't know, I love it. I love Dolores Cannon, so you can check her out. She's an amazing lady, and her website is dolorescannon.com, or you can go to my website, and it's Jennifer Martinez, QHHT.com. But I just love being a practitioner for this particular technique. It is a very gentle technique. You go under, tap into the all-knowing part of yourself, and their memories and the cellular structure of our body. So that's the neat part of it, is how we have these memories. But there's a part of us that always journeys into each body, and each of us have a angel, guardian, guidance team. It depends on how many obstacles we have in our lives. But see, they can't physically help you, so they have to come through you as like a messenger through the body, or they'll tell you things through things that happen. Accidents aren't accidents. They are trying to wake you up. So if you've had an accident, whoa, something really must have happened right before that accident to detour you, to shift you, and sometimes not. Sometimes not. Actually, after Kobe Bryant died, I was learning this, and I took one of my clients who was, a fanatic fan and loved him, and that person under. And when I asked why he left like that, he had no way of knowing. But what the higher self said, because you see, the higher self is oneness. It's a consciousness of one. So we can tap into each other like this. And I think it's incredible we can do it. And if you love that particular person or being, whatever, you can tap into that all-knowing part. And it's so gentle. They want you to have the information, so they tell you. And what it was is the angels had set up them all to be there at the same time. Do you see? It had to be all of them, because they had to go to a whole nother planet. I thought that was magnificent. I was like, wow. So it was like their next journey, and they took the helicopter and they needed it. That's why it's gone. That's why the helicopter was gone. There was not even a piece of the helicopter left, because they literally said it went through a portal, and the helicopter went through it. That's why there was a fog. That's why. All of it. They went to a whole nother dimension. Isn't amazing? I always wish that I could give people like that sessions, like his wife, just so she knows, like, he's okay and their daughter is okay. They're just very much alive over there on another side. Not on her side anymore, which there is a part of them in your heart. But things happen, I get it. They do happen without us knowing, but the angel part of us has already set that up for it to happen like that, because they didn't want us to consciously know something was going to happen, because that was the time for them to transition. So things do happen where we don't, in the third dimension, see that. But when we put two and two together, we figure it out. It might be later, but we do figure it out, and we go, oh yeah, that did happen. that could have meant that. It's because it did mean that. And that's why it happened. And so it can be a lot for some of us out there that have a lot of baggage and have a lot of things that have happened to us. And that's why I tell you is that you don't have to hold that baggage forever. Don't carry it with you every day into the future. The true you wants you to know that you don't have to hold it. And I know that's easier said than done, and that's why I say this technique is so beautiful, because it can help guide you to releasing that. And we hold on to baggage from kid up, all the way from when we were a little kid, all the way up. And then it makes it really hard to get in, because you've built layers and layers of protection. So that way no one could ever hurt you. It can never heal, it can never get hurt, it can never do anything. It's just stagnant energy. But that's why this technique's beautiful, because with that, it can help release that stagnant energy from you holding on to that baggage, those emotions. It's heavy. I mean, every day can be heavy for people. And then let alone every day going into the future. Every day is, tomorrow is the future. And when you go into the future with all that baggage, how are you supposed to grow? You can't heal, you can't do anything, you're just stuck, you're just stagnant. And what is that? You're frustrated. It leaves you frustrated and unsure and not confident and kind of, but not all the way, but kind of. So, it's like, what is the universe saying to you? Do you dream a lot where you know there's much more? I'm always curious to hear people's dreams, because they mean so much, and at the same time they're so mumbled. They're so mixed up, and we're so like, what the heck was that? Love dreams. Sometimes not. Sometimes they can show our fear, and we don't realize it's showing our fear, but it is. The fear comes out in your dreams. So you do have to be careful with your dreams, because fear gets released. And it happens. We do get, a little fearful sometimes. I was driving my car the other day, and I went too close to this little branch or a tree, and I remember being, oh, that's such a cute little tree, and then when I went past it, it just scraped right down my vehicle. And I thought, oh, okay, that's definitely like being like, hey Jen, you're not grounded enough. You need to get out there more. You need to be more grounded. You need to be more connected to Mother Nature. I'm right here. It's like the tree is reaching out to me, being like, hey, I'm here. I'm right here, and you're not paying attention to me. Because I love going outside and doing all that, but I just do my normal every day. And I don't, really get out in Mother Nature and like go for a hike, and I need to do those kind of things and just really connect. It just feels good to be out there and breathing that fresh air in the trees. And right now it's winter where I live, so you can't so easily do the trails, but there's some walking spots, so that helps. Depending on the day. I agree. Yeah, depending on the day, is it going to be nice to me weather-wise or not? Yeah, it snows, and then Some days are clear, but it does get, obviously if it snows, it's cold. So it's like, whew, do I need to get out there? But yeah, and I'm definitely someone who always says, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow sometimes never comes to where you're like, yes, today is the day. You usually push it off, and that's just made me realize, it's like, okay, when things like that happen, I can stop and say, why did that just happen? Oh, now I know why that happened. Oh, it's like outside, the Mother Nature's calling to me and saying, hey, come out. And I just need to do that. But that's creating new habits. That's creating things that would better me and and balance me. Not overdoing it in one spot, not saying, okay, I'm just going to do this all day in one particular field and not enjoying all these other things too. So it's a balance of self-love, self-care, and everything in between. But that's why I love quantum healing hypnosis technique. It's a very gentle technique. Anyone can go under. It can tell you, you can have questions before you come in to the practitioner, and let them be questions that would better your life, better your body. What if you're allergic to something and you're taking it in and it's making you sick, but you don't know what is actually making you sick? Sometimes we don't realize it's something that we may have been taking for years, or the fabric of the clothing, or the detergent that goes on it, or through it, just like those kind of things. So when you have these questions that you've been wanting to know, what do you need to know that would better your life, that would make you feel better and healthier, and even habits. If you wanted to say, hey, what kind of habits should I create that would be good for me? And those are kind of questions you would want to ask, that you would put out there to the practitioner that does your session for you. And that way, when you're under, your practitioner will then know what's really important to you. They'll know your life, because you'll have had to tell them what's kind of going on in your life, what are you into, and everything. And then you give these questions. It's really all meant to better you. So yeah, you can have this session and do this, but it's 50-50. As we give you this, as we perform this technique on you, and you get all this information and we guide you through that session, you have to do your part. And that is by taking in these habits that you may be into, taking in the information, just shifting that little bit to say, wow, universe, it's amazing. The universe is calling me. I know we're all searching for it somewhat here and there. There's this all-knowing part that we know we have, but ever since we were little, we didn't really get to endure it, because we got raised a certain way, and we had beliefs, we had belief systems implemented. We got brainwashed. It wasn't like we came in and chose everything for ourselves. No way. We're babies. We got everything chosen for us, which kind of messes it up a little tiny bit. Or makes it a good challenge. Because by the time we get older and we really start to think for ourselves, and we really realize there's this all-knowing part of ourselves, that we really do hold the answers to everything that's going on in our lives and happening around us, and why we're where we are. It's amazing. It's trusting yourself. It's believing in yourself. Most people don't. And it's not because they want to, because I'm sure if they really broke down, they would probably cry, because they want to believe in themselves. They want to love themselves as much as I say, this, some people feel they don't deserve it. They say, oh, I've done so much bad, I don't deserve love. And that's wrong. You deserve it as much as the next. You deserve love and compassion. We all do. We all hold it. But we choose, maybe we don't choose it. Maybe things have happened where we feel we can't choose it. But again, everything is a new day. Every day is a new day. And we need to know that we deserve it. Yeah. We deserve it. Open yourself to the universe. See what it brings you. See all the good that happens. And that's for you. You deserve it. You deserve to live in abundance. You deserve to have more than enough. We all deserve it. We just don't give ourselves credit for it. We just think, oh, we don't deserve that. So happy Valentine's Day. Meant to say that. It's February 14th. It's our Valentine's Day in the United States. Isn't that funny how we have these holidays? And you wonder, where did it even start? You know? And especially for America. Because, this was the American Indians' land, home. This was all theirs. And the English invaded not English, but we all know, the European, I guess, the British people. Gosh, I gotta look up my history. I just know it was like the American white people. Which I guess is all British descendants. But anyway, it's just interesting about the whole holiday thing. So I wanted to also put in this particular one was I wanted to talk about quantum healing hypnosis technique, but also the late Dolores. Yeah, I've talked about her a little bit. I just wanted to just put in that, she passed away already, so it's not like she is out there still. I mean, obviously in a whole nother dimension, she's never going to leave us. She's right there overlooking us. But again, she's evolving and going on to her, probably reviewing her life and then going on to her next life. And it does take a little time, although there is no time on the other side. So it's so cool. There's only time on this side. And we live in the illusion of time, and we have to, because that's part of being here with the free will and the yin and yang planet. We had to have time in our lives and endure what time even is. Months, days, years, hours, seconds. If you took that away and you just lived, like those people in Alaska and the other people who live remotely, who don't use, well, I guess they use some kind of form, and that's by the seasons. I guess you don't really have any choice. I mean, yeah, they don't live by the time, but they live by the sun and the seasons, day and night, that, because obviously summer comes and winter goes, that whole theme, summer and winter in certain parts of the worlds. And yeah, it's amazing. But it is February 14th, so yep, our Valentine's Day. It's interesting. I just love it. I just know in my life that my journey is to be this practitioner, and not even to just be a practitioner of this. It's really just to put myself out there to let everyone else who is possibly looking to be a light worker. That's my biggest goal, is that I just want people to wake up. So if they're a light worker, I want to wake them up. Are you a light worker? Do you feel like it? You can always have a session with quantum healing hypnosis technique with a professional practitioner in your area. You can come and see me. That would be so awesome. You can go to my website at jennifermartinezqhht.com. And you can check out the official page for quantum healing. Like maybe you might have to find a practitioner in your area if you can't make it all the way to where I am. And that's just official QHHT.com. And, or let me look at that again. I think it's quantum. No, it's QHH. It's QHHTofficial.com. And you can find a practitioner. There's a tab on the top in your area. If there's more than one, definitely resonate with them. See who fits you. See who, and that's by checking out their information, seeing if you like the way they look. And these days we can hear everyone's voice by YouTube videos, so check out their YouTube and see if you like the way they sound, because essentially you need to connect to that person, because when you go under, you need to feel so comfortable, trusting that person's guiding you, and trusting that you can let that information that has been baggage for you, let it go. Release it. And you might have to say it, and they're not going to judge you. When you connect to them and you tell them how much that little bit of that you resonate with them, it's incredible. Yeah, so I just want to put that out there in the universe, just so that way when people are drawn to it, they're drawn to the pureness of quantum healing hypnosis technique. It's really the source saying, hey, you are much more, and this is how I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you through your third eye. And you're going to close your regular eyes, and you're going to be quiet, and you're going to tap right in, and it's going to be beautiful. And you deserve to know now. It's time to know. As we move into the future, as we move in, it's time to endure it. It's time to smile again with joy and freedom and lightness, and feel light, and feel like all the weight is off our shoulders, and hold God in our heart, the source. Hold the source in your heart, and know that you can navigate through life with your heart, because you've let go of what you don't need anymore, and you're holding on to all beautiful positive energy, and you're leading that with your life, because you deserve it no matter what. You're entitled to that light. That's your light. So just remember that if you can't get there now, you can get there. Have a session with quantum healing hypnosis technique with a professional practitioner. And smile again, and know you have joy in your life. And you're amazing. You are magnificent. You've got this. That's how you change the world. one person at a time, right? You say it all the time. Awesome. All right. Well, you have a really great day. Thank you for listening to all my podcasts, or any of them. I really appreciate. I just really appreciate you guys. You're amazing. There's really great people out there, and it shows. It's like my dreams kind of, they come true when things like this happen, because it's all I've been dreaming about, is to do it, and now I can do it bravely. And that's what I needed in my life, to be brave, to know I can. So have a wonderful day, whatever time of day it is, wherever you're at. Nature is everywhere. So find nature, enjoy it as much as you can. I know we're busy, but that's just an excuse, because you can always do it. You do other things you can't imagine you could do. And this is simple. Loving yourself, having that balance. It is when you put it in there and make room for it. You'll see it. You'll see it. But definitely have a session, and thanks for listening to me. And I hope your session's beautiful. You deserve it.